Enipa one mo bom ho modern eboa ema Akufo-Addo ewini power no bebre no ano no wo ye invisible force fo one mo boa ema Akufo-Addo ewini power ene according to report ni kire say sankrofo ni yaya den e declare to. Most of the appointees accuse the National Security Coordinator Edward Kweku Asumeni. The group indicated Asumeni had refused to increase the 1,000 cedis allowance to 2,000 as directed by Rebecca Akufo-Addo. One more chance says Abape can a taxi driver ewa London. Womu nim de ye and a Gavia structure that Ecofa in the buy say Ombra number handle the nation's security apparatus.
The chief of staff who ought to coordinate government machinery, who should have summoned all of these institutions, the FDA, the National Food and Buffer Stock Company, the Ministry of Education, the GES, the Free SHS Secretariat, the chief of staff, just with a wave of her hand. And for Reverend Intim Fojo, he has been mentioned directly in the FDA report, a copy of which I have here, that he was contacted during the investigation. And I insist that Reverend John Intim Fojo could have stopped the distribution of this right when he was contacted.
Afi Yemra, our intelligence report. The alleged coup plot, Pt3. Mr. Ahabebi Edruno, quite sensitive. But again, let me put the silver liner here. That enipa yabobu bomudi mepamocho with the greatest of respect to these generals. If you can come to our studios to come help us clarify more, we are going to throw questions to you people. If you think Semu Adajia, come to the offices of CTV and help us get answers for this. Or you can also issue a rejoinder and clear the questions we are about to ask you. Or you can also do a press conference. And I need to make this emphasis, and emphasis is mine. Folks, I'm repeating myself. We are at the portion we are about to put our intelligence report out there. And I'm saying, sir, the intelligence report covering the alleged coup plot. Now we are going to ask some top military generals questions. And I'm saying, these generals, you can come to the offices of CTV to help us clear all these questions here. And now, so some issue press statement or rejoinder or any other form to answer the questions, and we'll be comfortable with that. Tonight, we bring to our viewers the Pt3 of the alleged coup plot story last week and this week. However, tonight, the front line would pose some fundamental questions to the following generals in the military to help us clarify the following mind-boggling questions. Now, no, you didn't send me to one efa a kwanya. Na, and in them realm say, alleged coup plot be a bar. Ya boni pebi, as some say, one allegedly, womushisha coup plot nimu, entina, yeah, as some require say, one person will declare state of emergency, and a crown and a crap. It is only paid in a PPM. And agree, ya de Pt3 eba. Na yɛde nsɛm bi bisa saa asogyafoɔ mpanimfoɔ yi sɛ wɔn mo mɛboa yɛ menya asɛm no mu nekorɛ ɛyɛ nekorɛ ɛnyɛ nekorɛ a wɔn bɛka deɛ wom na yɛnya ɛho nte aseɛ. We belong to the fourth estate of the realm, and we are empowered to ask any Ghanaian, including the president, who is the commander-in-chief of the Ghana Armed Forces. Now listen, if the president who is in charge of you is not above the law, may I say respectfully to these generals, you are not above the law, all right? I repeat myself, may say, if the president who is in charge or who is the commander-in-chief of the Ghana Armed Forces is not above the 1992 Constitution, respectfully, may I say, these generals, you are not above the law. And the media, which is the fourth estate of the realm, we have the right to ask you questions. Now, first, we begin with Major General BK Owono. Our first question yade ko hwan so Major General BK Owono, Chief of Army Staff. On that screen is no. Yebisa na sem. The Chief of Army Staff, Major General BK Owono, Chief of Army Staff, Asama yebisa number 1. Is there any steps undertaken to recruit some officers into some strategic locations in the military towards election 2024? Yebisa, is there any steps undertaken to recruit some officers into some strategic locations in the military toward election 2024 now? Asama yebisa peni say ayembia anamotuo bi wo ho a otuo say opeso odi nipa bi ekohyehe strategic locations bi within the Ghana Armed Forces toward election 2024 na anamotuo bi wo ho. General BK Owona, Chief of Army Staff. Papa we on the Ujina President Akufo-Addo. Yes. Chief of Army Staff. Major General BK Owona. Yes. Asmi yebisa no. Yes, no. Openi Branabe Bwana nsembu ma ya no ma. Open so betimi the rejoin aba. You can deny it. You can confirm it. Number 2. Can he confirm or deny any underpinning friction between his office, which is the Chief of Army Staff, and the Chief of Defense Staff? Is there any friction? Yes. We demand to know, sir, obe confirm it and obe deny, sir. Is there any underpinning friction between the Chief of Army Staff and the Chief of Defense Staff? Friction be wahosana. Major General, respectfully, we want to know. Because what you people should know is that, 1, the uniform you are wearing is not yours. Number 2, the office you are occupying is not yours. Regardless of however training you got. But then let me say it again. The office is not yours. The uniform is not yours. The uniform and the office belong to the people of this country. It is the property of the Republic of Ghana. Therefore, Ghanaians owe it a duty and a responsibility to demand to know. And that's what we are doing here. All right? So, Jenny be any rights. It will so Jenny na watch chance and also be bone microphone. Be careful. And then me ma also the beba so another time. Now, mediani we are into another some ye bisa no say I am bia e ne kure say entawantawo bi ewo ono any office no e Chief of Army Staff entawantawo bi on the office wo oni Chief of Defense Staff officer na ye bisa esan say the reason why Ghanaians need to know is say edwuma na mo ye na nyam edwuma Ghana fo edwuma enti say entawantawo bi wo ha then it means at the end game to Jumana Moyen enko wie payo. The second person, the next person we are here to throw questions to. Brigadier General Joseph Afo. Brigadier General Joseph Afo, Deputy Chief of Staff in charge of operations and training at Army Headquarters. On that screen is the second person we are throwing a question to is Brigadier General Joseph Afo, Deputy Chief of Staff in charge of operations and training, Army Headquarters. Question number 1. Can he confirm or deny that what operation has he directly or indirectly involved, which or what operation being and obetimia confirming and obe deny that he personally, directly or indirectly, that he involved regarding what I describe as what? Galamsey. Can he confirm or deny that he has not involved, directly or indirectly, involved himself in any Galamsey activities in Ghana's forest and water bodies? I'm waiting. Brigadier General Joseph Afo, have you involved yourself directly or indirectly in any activity called illegal galamsey in Ghana's water bodies and forest reserves. Can you say, can you confirm, or can you deny this? We need an answer from you, General, with respect. Number 2, can Brigadier General Joseph Affo confirm or deny that he was accused of trying to conspire to declare some form of state emergency, and the Chief of Defense Staff, General Opare, was allegedly adjoined to this? True or false? Can he confirm this or deny this? Can General Brigadier Joseph Affo confirm or deny that he was accused of some form of a declaration called state of emergency or whatever, and General or Major General Opare was adjoined to this, allegedly adjoined to this, to us it will let it look as though he is part of this called conspiracy ploy, and he knew nothing about this. And indeed, General Opare knew nothing about this so-called what? State of emergency. True or false? Can you confirm this or deny? Chief, can you confirm this conspiracy? Say, BBC SC, our army headquarters war. And of course, in this conspiracy, Opare was being fixed to make it look as though he's the one behind. And of course, he knew nothing about it. Brigadier General Affo, can you confirm this or deny this? I am putting this to General or Brigadier General Joseph Affo. Are you aware that the U.S. Intelligence Committee have a report on you? Are you aware? Have you read that report? Me say, are you aware that the United States Intelligentsia, the U.S. Intelligence Committee, the U.S. Intelligence Committee, they have a report on you? Are you aware? Have you read that report? And do you know what that report is about? Brigadier General Joseph Affo, are you aware about the U.S. intelligence report about you and the activities out there? Sooner rather later, I'm sure so be quite retirement. And all this would unfold. We have everything wrapped around our fingers. At the appropriate time, we descend and we unveil everything. We put the intelligence report into sharp focus and give it the sharp analysis and of course its impact is going to have on the country. Our report this is coming from the BNI or the NIB. Shall we? Or see, 8-year abuse of operatives. 8 years so abuse of operatives. Yes. And fear maku and what tria. Yede sa security officers yedo mafaso near home. TM. Or say, reports indicate a significant number of party vigilantes, including key persons of the Afiyabubu team. Or say, reports indicate a significant number of party vigilantes, including key persons of the invisible force, who sacrificed at the peril of their lives between 2008 and 2016 in ensuring electoral success for Akufo-Addo continue to be neglected across the country. The Opare channel said, and fear just year 2008, basi 2016. Enipa one bomb homodin, ebwa ema Akufo-Addo, ewini power no, bebre no ano no ye invisible force for one boy ma Akufo-Addo ewini power. And ne, according to reports ni chese, sa nkrofo ni yaya den, e declare to. Chese yen hwe mo. Or say research among 200 of the individuals who provided crucial security backing to the MPP, indicating a large number remain in abject poverty given sufficient 1,000 Ghana cedi salary earnings on monthly basis. A greater number of the engaged operatives indicates 70% of the operatives have lost their marriages. Again, 40% of same have vowed to take criminal activities should their party lose the election. Lastly, 55% of the engaged individuals vowed to unleash action on key appointees for the neglect. As someone who can say, I feel BNI for no interview, sa enipa wenimu invisible forces for ne sa delta force for no. Na asemo be pie mu ni say one mu wie ya one mo enya kwan ekọ security organization mu no. Wo hwe salary e de mo a na chese salary ne 1,000 Ghana cedis. Pe na 1,000 Ghana cedis no bi se den e no mo de beto. Na afi asema one mo kan say report no kire mu say about saying or say 70% of the operatives, 70% of this security operatives, women on my warrior ego. I feel 40%. One also avow say MPP co-positioner, as some way basically say, one number trahodin if you want form criminal organizations, no matter chronic pa a woman. I feel 55% in so you engage women so say one before can be so now they will unleash all manners of attacks ewo MPP paying for no so na nya de emu be yemre eno na chese wo ka we no MPP ni power. Yes, dear, or say specifically most of the appointees accuse the National Security Coordinator Movana Metoso or say most of the appointees accuse the National Security Coordinator, Edward Kweku Asumeni, for their demise. The group indicated Asumeni had refused to increase the 1,000 cedis allowance to 2,000 as directed by Rebecca Ekufu Addo and the President of Ghana. Jomo Pachane said, Akwensidia aba ma kwemu ni nara efri nipa baako eye hwan the National Security Coordinator on odaso no eye owura Kweku Asumeni wono ene ode sa ohaw we nara aba beto omo so se obey increase omo salary ne efri 1,000 cedis akọ 2,000 kekao Kweku Asumeni ayi na dwene se onye da na ni nara asem we akọ akoduru maami yenim eye first lady nim se Kweku Asumeni hwe no ntoto sa ne nya Kweku Asumeni has refused to act. Now, Motuas, say, Kweku Asumeni sit on the allowance on monthly basis for his own parochial expenditures at the detriment of the operative. That is it. Kweku Asumeni no etna woma salary no so. Sadly, or say most of the operatives lambasted Asumeni for his sudden ill-gotten wealth, including show of a high-end Range Rover, LX 600 SUV, Land Cruisers, and other high and luxury vehicles valued at 300,000 United States dollars when he was said to have lived a painless life at the mercy of Akosua Menu, aspiring Adentan MP. Some one more part of them, or how no Macomian, Sapa pay or that screen is and I do more cost our holding. Now, what would Jim say? Already, no one is you. Only she caneno. Not to say, Ushemwa, Sabri, or not know musica so, and or do music and aqua to top. Luxurious cars be to say, woman naming Carnegie, BNI report and name said LX 600 SUV Land Cruisers, any Range Rovers, Nina or Tutobi about $300,000 US. One more such remu say. Afi no oni hwe nipa no wo hwe no eye Adentan MP a ye frɛ no Akosua Menu ono a oje Adenta seat no in the MPP dim no ono ena no one ne tie so any yere so any girlfriend we do no. Now report no to us or say some operatives assigned to research department indicate Asumeni was a taxi driver in the UK. Thus any serious thinking operatives would find it difficult to take any sort of instruction from Asumeni. That his character record and exposure was not up to pair with the coordinator position. However, mysteriously elevated by Sikabi Ochredako to destroy the security fabric of the country. One more chance says, Abape, can I know a taxi driver? Ewa London. Womu nim de ye and a Gabi Ochredako, Ecofa in the buy say, Ombra number handle the nation's security apparatus. And it's a waba or say officer reporting the account. Now, Omotos will say, Asumeni's elevation to the seat without any established affiliation with the MPP fraternity has been noted by operatives as a catastrophic move to thwart the party campaign in election activities. It will be recalled that few months ago, Asumeni threatened to sack the operatives should they undertake any form of demonstration whilst the ongoing events unfold. Asumeni continued to push his family and friends into permanent positions within the Ministry of National Security, whilst party operatives who had hoped for permanent contracts have started panicking for unknown turn of event during December 2024 elections. The more patron said, I feel one month to me, who said, Ora Asumeni or MPP ni mapa na so onye MPP ni mapa. But Omususu said no, onye MPP ni. According to the BNR report, captured those operatives talking to them. Say womu nyini say Kweku Asumeni no oye MPP ni. Na afi Omususu said ono Kweku Asumeni wa threaten wom say obeyi nipa ne bebre edi say MPP eye den esamba back to power. Obeyi nedi obeyi sankofo ni na edi. Eno na omusu esuo say so mobile power na se Kweku Asumeni be yi o medidi a eni de besi. Etiye ka say some of the operatives in the national security, the BNI, are panicking as far as election 2024 is concerned. Now, dear, I say it is proven that the ongoing abuse of operatives has consequential impact on the country. The individuals were trained and politically connected. Or see, the individuals well trained and politically connected would pose significant threat to the country despite the workings of the Vigilantism and Related Offences Act 2019. As Momo can say, sa vigilante for Delta Force for any Venezuelan Delta Force one more kick on you trade one more power. Na sa some anhwe eme yentumi ensusu anu a sa enkrofo Delta Force for any sa you can say other groups you know they will pose threat to the nation's security. Na there are some kese na de baba so one more anhwe anso anu a ewuranom we so the national security coordinator net ho instead say ohwe na yetua operatives ni sika ebetumi aboa wom hwe yes 70% of them omu ina yere ejejawo 40% ayo madwen so womu ba no mo ba den abe form armed robbery squad 55% say afi MPP co-positioner they will resort to say omekunkum nipa ne perifoni bebre wo party. Yet national security coordinator neto quiet and he's been accused of sitting on their money.
We insisted that there are 20 questions that ought to be responded to by the Akufo-Addo government on this matter, which places the health and the lives of millions of senior high school students at great risk. After the press conference, no less a person than the chief of staff told the media that all we have put out are untruths and it's just mere propaganda. The chief of staff.
Let me add that the former education minister,
yes,
Reverend Intim Fojo,
yeah,
called into the show,
yes,
this week.
No, he's a deputy.
He's not former. He's a deputy
education minister.
Yeah,
yes, education. Then he also
I'll be coming to him.
Denied allegations.
Yes, I'll come to all of that. So that the chief of staff, a woman I have enormous respect for, a mother, the chief of staff who ought to coordinate government machinery, who should have summoned all of these institutions, the FDA, the National Food and Buffer Stock Company, the Ministry of Education, the GES, the Free SHS Secretariat. The chief of staff, just with a wave of her hand, dismissed this as mere propaganda and untruth. Then you have the Minister for Education, who also said that all of this are falsehoods. Then his deputy on this show says that, oh, even some of the documents are not on letterheads. And for Reverend Intim Fojo, he has been mentioned directly in the FDA report, a copy of which I have here, that he was contacted during the investigations. And I insist that Reverend John Intim Fojo, yes, this report, Reverend John Intim Fojo could have stopped the distribution of this rice when he was contacted as far back as January this year. Remember that the rice, the unwholesome,
he said he knows nothing
Moshosho rice, was distributed to our schools on the 1st and 2nd of February. He was contacted in January. Now yesterday, Annie, the head of legal at the Food and Drugs Authority has finally spoken. The FDA has finally spoken to this scandal. And when you listen to the FDA head of legal, he confirms everything that I have put out. Every information that I've put out on this matter has been confirmed. That indeed, Laments Investment Africa Limited and the National Food Buffer Company conspired to rebag rice beyond its best before date, and that they engage in that criminal enterprise without recourse to Act 851, the Public Health Act. And so 3 clear infractions. 1, the facility, the NAFCO storage facility where they were doing the rebagging, was not licensed. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
NAFCO, responsible for taking care of our children, where they store food. Yes, it's in the report.
Which report?
It's in this, this report. And the FDA lawyer has confirmed this. He said that that's why Laments was fined. So one,
at some point I was
please let me, can I just, it's important that, it's because the Ghanaian public must follow this, you know, and I don't want to lose my string of thought. So 3 infractions the FDA lawyer has confirmed, head of legal. 1, NAFCO, their storage facility where this rebagging, this criminal activity was taking place, is not licensed, it's not registered. 2, the rebagging under Act 851, the FDA should have been informed. The FDA was not informed. And then 3, the third infraction is that the FDA should have had a personnel, an officer at the facility to supervise
the rebagging process.
The rebagging process, according to Act 851. That was not done. And indeed, that is why Laments was fined by the Food and Drugs Authority. The Food and Drugs Authority has confirmed this. So where does this leave the Chief of Staff? And all of those ministers who were all over the place, saying that this is a figment of my imagination, they don't know the authenticity of the documents I have, they are not on letterheads, and all of those cock and bull stories. They clearly have been exposed.
Sammy, 1 second. I think point of departure of the people that you mentioned is that you say that the food was contaminated.
Yes, I'm coming there.
It had gone past its best before date.
Yes.
Yes. That is what they said is not true.
No. The chief of staff said everything is not true.
He said it's propaganda.
It's all propaganda. The chief of staff was categorical. You have the voice.
He said, what is propaganda?
Everything about this whole matter.
But what is the gravamen of your claim? That the food is unwholesome.
Yes. And not
They
only
say-
that, litany of infractions have been committed. NAFCO storage facility not licensed, the whole criminal rebagging did not follow due process. Worst of all, the rebagging violated our laws to the extent that they deceived the public. When they moved the Moshosho rice into these new bags, they lied that it is ECOWAS rice. They changed the origin from made in India
To made in Ghana.
to made in Ghana. And worst of all, there was no expiry date. What does LI 1541 say? It's trite. You cannot bag food, package food in this country without clearly spelling out the brand, the nature, the kind of food, its ingredients, without stating the origin, the true origin, and without stating the expiry date or the best before date. All of these things were not done. Now let me come to the issue of wholesomeness or not. I hold in my hands here the 6th February 2024 submission of certificates of analysis. Remember that on the 21st of December, the Ashanti Regional Police Command, having acted on the alert, wrote to the FDA and attached samples of the food, of the rice, demanding test results. And let me quickly read this letter. It's signed by J.J. Boy, the superintendent in charge of crime in Ashanti region. Addressed to the Regional Director, Food and Drugs Authority, Kumasi, request for assistance. The Regional Criminal Investigation Department of Ghana Police Service, Kumasi Ashanti, is investigating a case of being in possession of alleged unwholesome Moshosho bags of rice stocked at the National Food and Buffer Stock Warehouse, Bokrom, Kumasi. Investigations have reached a stage where sample of the suspected Moshosho rice needs to be examined to ascertain whether or not the rice has expired or good for consumption. I would be very grateful if your outfit could assist in examining the rice and report. Counting on your usual cooperation, please. So this is from the police command on the 21st of December.
To the FDA.
To the FDA. Will you believe, Annie, that before the FDA results will come in, orders have come from above that the rice should be sent to our schools? And I have all the schools who signed up for this rice. Yeah, last week I went through them. So 22,000 bags of this unwholesome rice have been fed to our students. Millions of them. Now, this is the scary part. The FDA certificates of analysis arise on the 6th. By the 2nd, the last batch has gone to our schools. Our children have started eating the rice. Now, what does the FDA, the 6th February FDA results say? It says that when they tested, the rice has a high presence of insect infestation and that it does not conform to compliance. It's here. Insect infestation does not conform. The test results also show that there is high fat acidity and that it does not conform to compliance. We have given this to medical doctors to study and advise, and they say clearly this rice should not have been sent to our schools. Look, as we speak, Annie, one will have thought that what this country should be doing urgently is to be carrying out medical screening of all our students who have been made to consume this rice, which has high insect infestation and high fat acidity. Now look, the Food and Drugs Authority. I am clear in my mind that this matter must be subjected to an independent commission of inquiry. Because the Food and Drugs Authority, just like NAFCO, they have many, many questions to answer. How is it that we now have, because the company has managed to produce some other test results, which conceals the insect infestation and the high fat acidity, and they are claiming that the rice is wholesome. So we now have two different reports from the FDA. How did that happen?
That's what I wanted to ask you.
How did that happen? That is why the FDA, look, elsewhere, by now, the CEO of the FDA will have been fired long ago. Heads will have rolled long ago. Look, the FDA should tell Ghanaians, why is it that this company laments? You catch them engaging in an illegality, in criminality, rebagging moshosho, unwholesome rice, in a different bag, ECOWAS bag, you claim made in Ghana, no expiry date. And then, instead of descending heavily on this company, and don't forget, Annie, that I also have here the Auditor General's report for 2021, where the Auditor General confirms at paragraph 608 that Laments has a history of serving unwholesome food. And then when you read page 142 of this Auditor General's report, Laments also short supplies. What that means is that we pay them and they do not supply even according to the quantity we are paying them for. So quality, suspicious, quantity, totally not compliant. This is the Auditor General. And this company should have been blacklisted as far back as 2021. Now, what is shocking, Annie, is that the documents I have intercepted, same day, 29th December 2023, you have the FDA engaging in 3 contradictory actions. Same day. I hold in my hands here this letter, 29 December 2023, which is the original position of the FDA on this matter, addressed to the Managing Director of Laments. Dear Sir, Madam, unauthorized repackaging of rice. The Food and Drugs Authority, Ashanti Regional Office, detected through a response to an alert that your company, Laments Investment Limited, has been repackaging moshosho rice into different packaging bags with a different brand name, Sidao ECOWAS, in the food buffer stock storage facility, which has not been licensed for manufacturing purposes. The country of origin, India, of the rice has also been changed to Ghana, thus concealing the identity of the rice. Additionally, unlike the original bags, no best before date had been indicated on the repackaged bags. The exercise had been taking place without the approval and supervision by the FDA. These actions of your company are in controversial of sections 103, 106, and 1301 of the Public Health Act 2012, Act 851. Quoted as follows. 1031 says that a person who manufactures, labels, packages, sells, or advertises a food in a manner that is false, misleading, deceptive,
let's do a
or
quick
misbranded,
and wrap up.
as regards its character, nature, value, additive, substance, quality, quantity, composition, merit, or safety, commits an offense. But let me quickly come to the very crucial part to me. This letter says that the FDA instructs the company, Laments, to 1, immediately desist from the repackaging of the rice. 2, contact the office of the FDA to initiate the process of safe disposal of the 15,000 bags of rebagged rice. And 3, pay an administrative charge of 150,000 Ghana cedis. 29th December. That same day, the FDA writes another letter to laments, changing this position, reducing the fine from 150,000 to 100,000, and then staying silent on disposing the rice. How did that happen? Who compelled the FDA to change their position? And then that same day, a third letter pops up, signed by the CEO of the FDA, Dr. Delis A.A. Dako. Dear sir, application for shelf life extension of Moshosho white double polish Sortex Indian 25% broken rice. The Food and Drugs Authority acknowledges receipt of your letter dated 4 December 2020 with regards to your application for an extension of the shelf life of Moshosho white double polish Sortex Indian rice 25% broken. Kindly note that the analytical report on the food product you submitted from the Food Research Institute has been reviewed. It, however, does not include a report on moisture and mold, which are also critical in making regulatory decisions in situations like this. Samples of the product were also sent to the FDA laboratory for analysis, indicated at the time of testing to be wholesome. With regards to the best before date, as stated on the product, the FDA is, however, unable to grant your request for a shelf life extension, since the authority cannot determine the shelf life of products. Shelf life determination is the responsibility of the manufacturer and must be based on the data obtained from shelf life studies conducted on the product.
Which dates did Laments request for the shelf life extension?
They say that 4th December 2023.
Is this not the letter from the Laments request?
Yes.
But that's February 9,
2024. Exactly. Different date. I remember the Laments, the directors were arrested on the 20th of December.
Yeah.
Upon the alert. So a lot of fishy things going on. So the FDA has a lot of questions to answer. But you see, what should worry all of us is that even this so-called claim of extension, that, oh, as for best before date, it is only about quality, it reduces the quality. We should be asking.
Yeah. Why should we be,
why should we be feeding our children with reduced quality of rice?
Why should we be asking
why? When you go and buy rice, you go to the mall to buy rice, and they tell you, oh, this one is reduced quality. We have some best before date extension. Will you buy it? If your own children are in secondary school, will you accept that? Okay. We are paying these people good money, millions of taxpayers' money. And you tell us, look, when other countries, Michelle Obama, what was her whole assignment as first lady? It was how to improve the nutrition of food for the children of America. Now, Annie, no, this is important. Please,
I'm under pressure.
Just give me a minute. No, just give me a minute. It's very important.
I don't control that here.
Okay, but just give me a minute. Look, even this so-called extension, why didn't they put it on the bag of rice so that headmasters, matrons will know that even this your wicked extension, that our children can eat rice that is of inferior quality, that has gone beyond its best before date? Why didn't you state it? Why wasn't it put on the bags? So that heads will know. Now, as we speak, the evidence I have suggests that some schools continue to feed their children this rice beyond April. Some as late as July, August. What are we doing? Look, free SHS should not give anybody the license to poison our children. And we must make that point very, very clear and very, very forcefully. Why is this company being pampered? In 2021, the Auditor General indicted them. Then,
yes, I'm done.
Then they have done all of this, engaged in all of this criminality. They are still being pampered. They are being given extensions. Why?
Okay.
Did you see, as I conclude, did you see what the Greater Accra Regional Minister, only this week, did to that hawker at the new, the new flyover? The flower pot interchange. Did you see? Destroyed her tables and everything. You see how we treat the vulnerable, the poor, those who are not politically connected. And laments, smiling all the way to the bank.
We have to go.
Sir, the two and now share in Konya Papa. Is here, the beer set. Men how share video na say. Me and J whom the number of fa na contact here. Na your more direction no. Meaning say at the papa bia e be bo ho da we for Ken TV bia no. Ye ka say eye nokore a ya hwehwe ma hunu nti na ye bo ho da we. Enti nyame adom ye ma me nso so no o support Kennedy compare kwa Japan. Or you business woman. Enti mo ye nyina ye support the business women. Omo support Kennedy Japan. Na omo business no enko so. Enti we de ani die kwan so me nsa me nsayam. Se o pen konwa set atop agu fee anase wadwumam. Eye E&J home decor. We dey fa number na frɛ. The be more direction. But you own person be ba hampa. Ya nkasa de bugu kamu na ye de abrɛw. Menim say we are for Ken ne Ghana for. Mo beboa ama ye ma me business no akoso. For any enquiries, with your phone number no. Yeah, we are for Ken. You say, "Adia, you don't hold the rubiano." Your papa assemble, come and hold us responsible.
So once you say same if you Royal Gallery, Opare kuma, I need to jama me number no in Indian kita with them 0537 314546 0537 314546. Na man na me de atuja amount from ma me no ni ndin kita wode. So person ye say wo ba no mfa ye na ye flo. Ana say ye say wo ba no mfa ye bibi bia e fa na nanom ne ehema asem ho. And dem e kan for Royal Gallery e de amount. Say from no ni omu ndin kita wode. Ombe say wo ba no so de ye bibi e wo school. Ana say mpo wo to e de amuna wo nua e wa amunane. Ana say wankasa wo to na wa ton baby biala wo biala free delivery baby bia wo won sebeka say wo Ghana ha say wo amunane baby bia wo bia wo Frema me a woni no bedin kita wode na wo so be siesie na wo ba no na wa ye feye papa.
The foundation of every kid's education is important to every parent. That is why Leap International School is here to give your kids a solid foundation. A school that cares about its environment and seeks to transform it is one that cares about the education and well-being of its kids. The school has a playing ground, a bus to convey the kids in and out of school, as well as a well-furnished facilities and resources to groom the kids to future leaders. Not forgetting the well-learned teachers that are patient with the kids to ensure understanding is easy. They are located at a milestone off the Popasi Anasaman Road. For more information, call 0246 928 031 or 0246 098 067. Be part of a school that leads, learns, evolves, acts, and develops through sound education. Leap International School, the next leaders.
School now batan biara de ne baro ko hono ni yo. Oye Rainbow Montessori International School. Yeah. Rainbow Montessori International School. What you from Kratchi? Because the JHS. The Rainbow Montessori International School from ana. What been wrong? What's that what the Montessori curriculum in a syllabus? No what the children are the teachers wo hona. When you know why degree holders what the abutana badoyan what the trauma from anadio. The Rainbow Montessori International School. Wakitaba funyoman what the trauma from anadio. It's your mama from an not doing boy wrong. Wakita ultra modern science laboratory, computer laboratory, library and research center, art and sculpture laboratory, hygienic canteen, now for a clinic. Na moye nyika 1 point there. Rainbow Montessori International School. Oye boarding house. Inyo. Into onfahu baby awo biara. Wawo from an batuma ba school. Onfahu there watakwa. Takrade. Elibo, Cape Coast, Accra, Kumasi. One boarding house facilities now. Oye modern standard. Na wa shefu papa. It's your house master and house mistress. What you want to a boarding house no? It's your new Biara, Bambo, another security in the sure. And if we from Anabra, the Ebu Rainbow Montessori International School, it was Takwa in Soyem, opposite police station. It is said Obama Rainbow Montessori International School. To what you name nada? Was an Wabat Shana the Papa, Emanazamsna, what Channel 111. It's a quad word mission form. It was Hantaman Raban, Watakwa Soyem branch, Freyane 0277 100 823. Rainbow Montessori International School. In Moframa one that in a one fapim, Oshasuaha. It's a Hana Batan Biara, or the number from a river.